Hello, my name is Simon, but everyone calls me Peter. I'd like to share with you what happened to me when my life was changed. I'm a fisherman by trade and am good at it. So when this guy, who everyone calls Jesus, visited town, I was interested, but not enough to give up fishing. Then Jesus did what Jesus always does and became someone very personal to me. He found me on a lake and took away my problems. There was a lot that I didn't agree with from the teachings of the Pharisees. There I was on a lake fishing with the men I always fished with. We were a rowdy bunch of guys, fishing, swearing, and having a great time when Jesus told me, "Come follow me." I had met him once when my brother and friends showed him to me, but I figured that he'd never want a guy like me to be friends with. Jesus accepted me for who I was. Jesus understood that as a fisherman, I was not okay with public speaking, and that I tend to say things without thinking everything through. I quickly put my full faith in Jesus, and it was life-changing. Jesus treated me as an equal. He respected me. He taught me what faith means. One time, I have a story to tell you. I was with the guys in a boat, and we saw a ghost on the water. Everyone else was scared, but not me. Well, okay, I was scared too, until the ghost turned into Jesus. He told us it was okay. I challenged this by telling him to call me out into the water. I walked on the water. It was awesome, until I realized I was walking on the water, and down I fell into the water. Fear gripped me like crazy. The boat was out of reach. The water was all around me, and then Jesus grabbed me. He challenged my faith. He told me, "Did you really think I was going to let you drown? Have faith in me as your friend." Jesus taught us a lot about having faith and trust. I struggled a lot with this, but Jesus has been very patient with me and helps me in ways that I never thought was possible. A while back, I had an exciting experience with Jesus. James and John and I were invited to go with him onto a mountain. Jesus had told us that he needed to show us something, that he needed to make sure we were ready. James and John were commonly known in our group as the Sons of Thunder because they were troublemakers and they loved to fight and argue. So the Sons of Thunder, the guy that speaks without thinking, and Jesus headed up on a mountain. Were we all in trouble? Is this another one of those calm down and stop causing problems speeches that Jesus gives us every other day? Jesus starts by telling us that he greatly trusts us and that he cares about us, and that time is limited. But what he is about to show us, we are not allowed to tell anyone. At this point, I lost track of what Jesus was talking about because I was thinking about my wife. Yes, I'm the only disciple that's married. I started thinking about how often Jesus tells us not to tell anyone what he is doing, and my wife is always getting upset that I always will not share with her what is going on and what I am doing now, that I haven't been able to go fishing for about a few months. Peter, 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 oh yeah. Jesus, why are we on this mountain again? I'm going to reveal to you the trueness of who I am and show you the glory of God. At that moment, I witnessed Jesus transform from his dirty, dusty robes into the whitest robe I've ever seen. The light was so bright, I fell to the ground and didn't know what to say or do. Even survival was beyond my thinking. John looked up and exclaimed, "Is that Moses and Elijah with you?" And I, being myself, yelled out, "Master, it is good that we are here with you. Should we build shrines for you and your visitors?" I had no idea why I said that. I knew Jesus was going to return to town with us, but I said what came to mind. One last story before I go. A few days ago, Jesus sent 2 of the other disciples to bring him a colt to ride into Jerusalem. We all kept telling him that we should never go to Jerusalem ever again, but Jesus said it was his time. So we decided it must be time for King Jesus instead of Teacher Jesus. James and John again were arguing, but I'll let John tell you that story. When we went into town, everyone was shouting, "Hosanna in the highest." We were so excited because we just knew Jesus was going to overthrow the evil Romans and that he was going to give each one of us our own area to rule. I once again got distracted by thinking, King Peter, ruler of the fish and of the sea, commander of all those who like to fish. I realized that we had gotten lost at some point because Jesus was in front of the temple instead of the palace. I was confused. As we sat down for the Passover meal, Jesus began the traditions of Passover, the bread, the wine, the lamb, and everything else. When things went weird, Jesus told us that one person would betray him, that he, Jesus, would be leaving soon, that he was going to become our servant. Jesus at one point stands up, walks over to the servants' area, and takes a pitcher of water and pours it into a stone basin and takes off his robe. To my horror, the man I respect more than life itself walked up to me, kneeled down, and started to take off my dirty, smelly sandals off of my feet. No way Jesus is not washing my feet, but Jesus told me that if I am to remain with him, I must allow him to wash my feet. I felt so embarrassed, but I also wanted to make sure Jesus knew that I trust him completely, that he is super important to me. So I, like always, said, then don't just wash my feet, but my hands. Really? What did I feel that would draw me closer to Jesus? He already is my best friend. Jesus told us, go and do likewise. We didn't get it then, but we do now. Serve one another as Jesus served us.